back to Dirty Secrets of Small Business. I'm Adam Sonhalter.
And I'm Jack Mancini, and we are with Maximum Value Partners. We're business coaches. And what we're doing today is exploring countless how questions, and we're selecting a bunch of them from our last week of coaching small business owners like you folks out there. And what a how question is what you're faced with often, and almost every day, I'm sure almost every day, if not every day for sure, you have a how question. How do I find an employee? How do I become more approachable, which is what we're talking today about? How do I get unstuck from this state? Who can I talk to? Well, you can talk to us. In fact, if you have a how question now, we'd love you to give us a call and become part of the program. Have fun with this stuff. We try to have fun with stuff. So
that's right. So as Jack said, you're welcome to be part of this show. We're going to give you the answer here in terms of at least a couple suggestions we have in terms of that first how question, as you mentioned, which is how to be more approachable. But if you have a how question of your own you want to share with us, again, we're here every Monday from noon to 1 Eastern. The number here in the studio is 440-946-9468. That's, again, 440-946-WINT. You can also email us at radio@maximumvp.com.
But yeah, become part of the program. Let's hear your how questions, because we know you have a lot of them, and chances are we have heard those directly and have given great advice for how to solve them.
That's right. So we'll do our best to get to throw some of the more common ones up here. So the one we were discussing before the break was, again, this is an owner of a small company that's been a client of ours for a number of years, who's a big, physically intimidating guy. He's a D in disc parlance, so very kind of dominant, style and personality. But
what a lot of people like to say at heart, he's a teddy bear, right? One of those little
once you get past all get past all that gruff, right?
All the bluster, all that, yeah.
So his wife asked how he can become more approachable, which he was surprised by because he feels he's very approachable. And it was prompted by a couple of employees, who are key people, who were trying to, leave the company without talking to them about it first, because they had some issues or some challenges that were going on. And so we gave them a couple tips. And so when D's have questions, often they'll look to Jack first to kind of see what he says, because Jack's a D as well. So I said, well,
softy though. I've become a softy through the years.
Jack's a very he's a very experienced, seasoned D, who's been aware of this for a while, and so you sprinkle that seasoning on. Plus, the natural aging process will help usually it goes one way or the other, right? Either it softens the D a little bit and it takes the edges off, or they become even more hardened. So you went down the first path versus the second path, right?
Grumpy old man, depending on the day, right?
That's right. So they asked for a couple of ideas about ways to be more approachable. And you gave a couple of good tips, Jack. Why don't you share that with our audience here?
God, what were those? I can't remember.
You don't remember? All right, I'll remember. That's okay. The first one, which is a very simple. It's one that's been told to me numerous times before, and that is to smile. Okay, to smile more often, right? Now, as silly and as stupid as that might sound to some of you, because it sounded stupid when somebody told me that for the first time. So why don't you smile more often, right? If you're feeling good, if you're happy, why don't you let your face know it, right? I'm thinking, okay, it sounds simple and easy, but it can be very dangerous too. And let me paint a very good picture for you. For those of you who have watched any of the political stuff going on here for the last 6 months, you may have watched a debate or two or seen parts of the debate, and you may have seen the Joker smile that Hillary Clinton has.
Oh yes, the Joker smile.
Anybody that's seen it? It is so unnatural, but I guarantee you, she got the same advice. Hey, just smile. If you're getting mad or upset and somebody's saying something that you don't like, just smile. And so here she was, and she puts this big fake smile up that it's very off-putting. It actually has the exact opposite approach, right? So we talked to this client about it and said, well, let's make sure. And he tried to smile. Remember, he smiled and came off.
I remember. We had him, especially when you say smile, right?
Right.
Yeah, it's awkward and it was fun. It was funny.
So you have to do what my 10-year-old daughter does. Okay, so I'll come in on her numerous times. Here she's in the bathroom, standing in front of this big mirror we've got, and just practicing facial expressions. Right? It's a great lesson. Okay, so she's looking, she's practicing different faces that she's trying to make. I go, okay, that's a good idea. So for her, I said, okay, for our clients, we told them the same thing. So make sure you look in the mirror to make sure it looks natural. And just kind of capture yourself again, because when he smiles, we see him smile a lot, because again, we have a lot of good discussions as part of our meetings and everything else. But your point, it's like when you're sitting for that school photo, or you're sitting for a photo shoot. Okay, smile, right? it's so hard to do, right?
Smiling disarms people.
Right.
It's very hard to get somebody who's standing there, sitting there, smiling at you. You know, you finally explode. Say, what the hell are you smiling about? You know,
Right.
or I mean, it takes you off on a different path, and that's one of the keys to becoming approachable. But it can't just be done once in a while to try to gain an. You got to incorporate it into your daily life, and.
Well, Jack, you've done such a good job of doing that. You know, we get questions all the time, and people ask me, you know, what's Jack smiling about?
It's always good to
Right.
berate somebody with a smile on your face because they don't quite know what happened.
Right.
No, that's a lot of fun, and that's a good technique. That's a good technique.
And so it's easy to do if you're enjoying what you're doing, which most owners do, and we certainly do as well. So that's tip number one to become more approachable is smile. Make sure it's a genuine smile. But just be more conscious of it. If you're feeling happy, you're feeling good. Again, let your face know how you're feeling about things. But again, look in the mirror, get a feel for what that feels like when it looks natural. Maybe ask your spouse or a good friend to kind of, because they'll let you know. Yeah, it kind of seems a bit
Don't show all your teeth in a sarcastic way, and you know what we're talking about.
Right.
I know you do.
Right. So that was tip number one. And the second tip, okay, for becoming more approachable, this is something that you're also very good at, Jack, which is being very self-deprecating.
Yes.
Okay. And so maybe you can give a few examples of what that might sound like here for our audience in terms of being more self-deprecating.
Well, like our bald heads, we'll talk about that. You know, to set yourself up and poke fun at yourself. If you do that, you know, that makes the person across the table who might be thinking a version of the same thing, or maybe even not, doesn't make any difference. They become aware of your, we'll call it human side. You know, it's kind of fun. You don't take yourself too seriously. You're natural. It's okay. That's the heartbeat of what approachable means, at least in my opinion. To say it's okay. It's okay. I mean, there's a limit. You can poke the bear a little bit, but don't keep poking. Sooner or later, there's a threshold you cross over, and the smiles are gone, and the demeanor
And
is
the
gone.
bear lashes out at you, right? Yeah.
But when you talk about yourself, don't talk about how great you are, even though we are pretty good here.
I think it's probably more about not taking yourself so seriously.
Exactly.
That's a big part of it, and I guess one of the things I may put in this category. You can tell me if this is right or not, Jack. Which is one of your famous lines, which I know I've incorporated a lot, and we encourage our clients to as well. Is a very simple two-word phrase. I'm confused. Okay, that kind of fits in that self-deprecation piece because
right.
Our culture does not encourage you not to know what the heck's going on sometimes, or to say that I'm confused. But most people are a lot that they're afraid to admit it. So if you're the first one to kind of put it out there, hey, I'm confused, people will think very highly of you and thank you for putting it out there, right?
Talking pretty smartly and have great insight, and all of a sudden you're confused. I mean, that's a game changer right there at the table, and it's a very powerful tool.
So if you present it in the way, which you often do, say, again, I'm sure everybody else knows what's going on here, but I'm often a little bit slower than to kind of catch up on some of the stuff, so I'm a little bit confused. So you'll kind of put it out there where, hey, everybody else probably is not me, it's just me, so let me kind of throw it out there. But usually if you have a group of 5 people, I guarantee at least two of the other 5 are probably confused or maybe don't realize that they're confused. So it's key to kind of put those kind of things out there. So smiling, again, genuine smiles are very, very key. And I think self-deprecation is very key. Again, not take yourself too seriously.
Those are the two items. You're right. Thanks for reminding me.
It's okay. That's what makes a good partnership. We kind of keep things going here.
You have such a great memory anyway, so that's a good thing. But those 2 points were our answer to how do I become more approachable. Well, if you think and practice those, you're going to be more approachable. And if you don't think you have a problem, well, that's great, but chances are, if you haven't asked anybody, hey, am I easy to talk to?
Right.
Can you feel comfortable coming up to me? Get some insight in that. And if you have some problems with that, hey, we can help you. That's for sure.
That's right. All right, stick around. When we come back on the other side here, we're going to dig into a couple other how questions we've had here in the past week or so. I'm Adam Sonhalter.
And I'm Jack Mancini, and our program today is sponsored by Maximum Value Partners, and that's what we do. We deliver maximum values to our partners and who are really our coaching clients. We have a lot of fun doing it, and we help you get unstuck from that state of how. And I know you have some how questions out there, so why don't you give us a call? Why don't you become part of the program today?
That's right. The phone number here is 440-946-9468. Stay tuned for more Dirty Secrets of Small Business on Integrity Radio, WINT 1330 AM, 101.5 FM, and online at wintradio.com.